Hari Om. A very good evening to one and all. My dear girls, today in this video we are going to discuss how Visual Studio can be used for developing window-based application program, and at the same time we will also talk about the different components that are used in the IDE environment. Let me open the Visual Studio. So this kind of page will be opened up, and if you want to create a new project, you can click on your new project. Since we are going to talk about window-based application program, it will ask you what is the kind of application you want to develop. And you can observe here, I select C# language. So this is the place where you can select different languages that are supported by .NET environment or the Visual Studio environment. I choose C#, and here you can specify for what platform you are developing the application. So here I can go for all platforms so that it becomes compatible for any kind of platforms you are going to use. And since I am going to develop a window-based application program, I go for desktop. If you want to have console-based application, you can select console. And if you want to have web-based application, you can select web, or any other kind of Internet of Things or machine learning or a kind of extensions you are going to develop, or if you want to have mobile application, all those things can be selected here. So I choose desktop, and I'm going to select the .NET environment, Windows Forms app. I choose this and go to next. It will ask you what is the project name you want. You can specify some name here. So let me call it as First Windows app. This is where we specify the location, and we specify the framework we are going to use as .NET framework, and you click create, which will be creating a Windows Forms application. If you see Windows Forms, these are the interfaces which are used for designing the visual interface for a Windows application. Using this, we can add controls and other items from the toolbox into the form window by dragging and dropping them or by double clicking on them, which we have seen in the previous video. Now, one very important thing that we have to understand here, for your C# programming, when you use C#, the Windows forms are available in the namespace called system.windows.forms. This is where we have all the form classes that are available, system.windows.forms. So once you open the Visual Studio, you can see a window form is created. So your form is ready to work, and you will have a toolbox here that shows what are the different user controls that can be added to the form. And on the right hand side, you have the Solution Explorer. This is the Solution Explorer, in which you will have the list of files and resources that are used in this particular application. And in the right bottom, you have the properties window. So this is what we are going to discuss now. The properties window. Let me increase the size of the properties window. Properties window is nothing but for each user control, these are different user controls available. For each user control and for the form, you have different properties listed, such as for the button control, you want to specify what is the color of the button. You want to specify what is the kind of font you want to use on the button. Or if you are using the text box, what is the font color or what is the font size you want for the text box. Or if you are using a checkbox, then what is the caption you want to give for each and every checkbox. Or if you want to have a combo box is nothing but the drop down list. It is nothing but a drop down list. So if you want to have a drop down list, what are the list of items you are having? So these are the kind of information you want to give for each and every user control. So to give these information, we have the properties associated with each and every user control. I hope all of you know what is a property in C#. So property is nothing but a named public data member associated with a private data member, using which you can manipulate the data members of the object. Here, all these user controls are considered as objects. All these user controls are considered as objects. Now, we are going to discuss properties for a button, for a text box, and for a combo box. These are the three boxes, three user controls that we are going to use in this application. Now, what I want here is I am going to add a button. I add a button, you drag and drop or you can double click. So this I have dragged and dropped. I want to have a text box. So take the text, go to the text box, double click on the text box. Very good. Then I am going to have a combo box also. I have a combo box. Combo box is like this. You can see a small arrow mark here. Now, what I want in the combo box is the application which I am going to develop here is for greeting the users, let us assume. So, what I do here, let me increase the size of the button. When I click on the button, the properties window will show all the properties of the button object. If I click on the text box, you can see the properties are for the text box. When I click on the drop down, you can see the properties are for the combo box. When I click on the button, the properties are for the button. Fine. And suppose if you click on the form, you can see the properties are of form. And what you see here in this particular location is the name of that particular object. So the name of this particular form is form 1. The name of the combo box is combo box 1. The name of the text box is text box 1. The name of the button is button 1. If you want to change the name, that can also be changed here. You can also change the name of the button. You can see here the name is button 1, which can be changed. And if you choose text box, the name of the text box is text box 1, which you can change. Suppose you want to give it as name of the person, I can call it as text box underscore name. So you can easily understand this is the text box which is used for receiving the name of a person. And let me call this button as a greetings button. Then you can see the name of the button as button greet. Button greet. So the name of the button has been changed now. The text box also you can observe here. For the text boxes, I add a prefix like txt and I give text box for name. The same way for combo box also you can do something like CMB to identify it as a combo box, and for what I am going to use it is for salutation. Okay. So what I want in the application, I give salutations here in the drop down as Miss, Mr., Doctor, etc. And I'm going to type the name of the person here. And when I click the button, it must say hello Miss Ambika, or it must say hello Mr. Rohit. Like that it has to give the greetings for the user. Now I want to change the caption of the button. So what I do, I click on the button. You get the properties of button. Scroll the properties. You can see here the text. You can see here the text which will be changing the caption of the button. So you can select. I type greet me. Okay, I press the enter key and you can see here it is changed. And if you want to increase the size of the font, if you want to increase the size of the font, you have the font property. You can go and select the font property. That will open a dialog box. You see here 3 dots are there. So if you click on this dot, it will open up a dialog box. And if you want to increase the size, currently the size is 8. If you want to increase the size, you can change it to 12, 14 and click on OK. It will change the size. Now you can see a bolder caption on the box. On the button. The same way, suppose say for example, you want to have a default value to be given in the text box. You click on the text box and you can say the text. By default there is nothing in the text box, and if you want to give some value here, something like enter your name, then this will appear on the text box. Okay. Now suppose say for example I want to give a value here saying this is the name of the, here you have to enter the name, here you have to select a salutation. I go to the toolbox and I am going to select a label. Just double click on the label. You will get label 1 here and change the text of the label as enter the name. So you get a label like this so that you can understand what for this text box is used for. And if you don't want to have this default value, you can just remove it, have it as blank, so that you will not have anything here. That is also possible. And I want to have the salutation as the label here. So I add another label and I change the text of the label as salutation. Change it to salutation, so it comes like this. Okay. So now when I want to run this program, if I click greet, again the salutation, enter the name, for all these things, if you want to change the font size, all those things can be done by changing the properties of label. You can go and choose the font here and that can be changed. In the same way for salutation also, choose the font here and change it. Now I want to add the items. Now initially there is no item available in the drop down box. I want to add the items. So what you do here, in this control you have a small arrow mark on the top. Just click on that arrow mark. It will show you this window, small window. There you have edit items. So click on the edit items. There you can list the items one by one. So what are the items we want in the salutation? I want to have Miss, then I want to have Mr., then I want to have Doctor, I want to have Master, I want to have Mrs. So these are some of the salutations you can have. So for each item, give it in a separate line. Click on OK. Now your combo box will have all these salutations. Just let us run this application. I run this application. There is no error. This is where you will have the error list. If you have the console based application, your output will be displayed here in the console based application. So build is succeeded. Now you have got the form here. Now if you open the salutation, whatever items you have added, it is all listed. So if you choose doctor, then doctor comes there. If you select master, master comes there. If you select MS, that comes there. Okay. Now when you click the button, it is not responding, right? You just click on the button. Why? Because I have not added any code in the event handler. So what we do, I go back to the application and I want to say, when I click greet me, I want to display a message box saying hello and the salutation and the name that is entered in the text box. So let us see how to do that. I select the button. I double click on the button. You can see a window is opening which you call as the code editor. This is the window, you call it as code editor. Now observe here, the code editor is having the extension as form1.cs, and this form1.cs is also available in the Solution Explorer. So it says that form1.cs is the code file available for the event handlers. It is available for the event handlers. So whatever events are happening in the form, all those things will refer form1.cs for responding to the event triggered by the users. So when you click a button, it is called an event is triggered on the button object. When you change something in the text box, it says you are triggering the text box change event for the application. So all the event handlers must be specified in the file called as form1.cs. And what do you have in form1.designer.cs? Designer.cs contains all the objects that are required for your form layout. This is what you have to understand. When you open designer.cs, you can observe here it is having a button object. As a member, text box which we have added, the combo box which we have added, and the two labels we have added. So these are the 5 different objects, or you call it as user controls, or you call it as common controls, that are added in form 1 object. Okay, so you can see here the class name is form1, and for form1 these are the different data members that are available. Very good. So I go back to the design. So this is the design page, and for this design page the original code is available in form1.designer.cs. And observe the extension here. Since it is a C# application, all your files are having extension .cs.cs. Then apart from these CS, you have program.cs also. We'll come to the program.cs little later. I go to the design and I want to add the event handler. So I want to have code for the button click event. Double click on this. You can have a message box. I select a message box and I say show, and what I want to show, I just want to say hello, and along with hello I want to have the combo box value. So this is the name for the combo box salutation dot text. So whatever text is available on the salutation box, that must be there. Then after that I want to add the text box, the content that is available in the text box. Okay, now I have added the message box. So now let us go to the design and let me save my application. So this button is used for saving all. So whatever changes you have done, all these files, everything will be saved. If you just choose save, it will be saving only that particular file which you have edited. But if you choose save all the files that are associated with this project will be saved. Okay. So now we have added the code for button click event. I start running the application. It has started building the application. The build is succeeded. So now your form is ready to run. You can choose the salutation, enter a name here. I enter one name. I just click greet me, and now you can see it says hello, and what is the salutation you have given, miss, and whatever name you have entered here, that is also displayed. Click OK. Now if you want to have Mr. If you give Mr. Vijay and if you click, and it will show you hello Mr. Vijay. So now your form is ready and it is going to be alive until you close the form. So your form is ready for receiving all the kind of events that are triggered by the user. So when you see this particular form, clicking this button is one of the events. Changing the text box content is another event. Selecting an item from the drop down box is also another event. So these are the three kinds of events that happens in this particular form, which can be responded by the form if you have edited the code accordingly, or if you have added the event handler accordingly. Okay, so this is how the properties windows is made use of for changing the data that is available in this particular user control. And now one more thing that we have to understand here is program.cs. So this is the main program that we are going to have, and I hope all of you can recollect the events application, demo program what we have done for when we talked about delegates and events, we have seen a program, the events demo program, that creates the window, that creates the form, that creates the button control, everything right from the scratch. By the time you may remember, this is the namespace we have included in our application, in our console based program using system.windows.forms. This is where all the forms are available, and you can create your own namespace also. And inside the program, in the main program, you might have seen application.run new events demo. That is what we have given in the previous console based application program, which is used as the events demo. For events concept, we have created a class called as events demo, and we have given it here, application.run new events demo. But here in this program, the form is named as form 1, public class form 1. നമ്മുടെ previous program what we have given here, public class events demo form. So events demo is derived from form here, form there in that particular application. But here in this program, I am creating form 1, which inherits the properties of form. And in the main program, there we have used new events demo. But here, since the class name is form 1 and the constructor is form 1, I am creating an object of form 1 and I give it as an argument for the run method of application class. So what happens now? This run method will create a new form object and it will enter into indefinite loop. It will enter into indefinite loop. What for it is entering into the indefinite loop? So for example, when I run it, it enters into the indefinite loop. So the form will be on until you close this form window, or you call it as window. So now this enters into the indefinite loop and it will be waiting for the user to trigger an event. So whenever you trigger an event, the event will be responded with the event handler. So what is the only handler we have? In this application, we have added only one event handler. What is that event handler? Button click event handler. So when you click the button, it will be responding. And you can see here, I have not selected any salutation. I have not entered any name. So it is not showing you anything. Whereas if you have selected and if you enter the name and if you click greet me, it will show you this message box. So now you can easily understand how the application.run helps in creating a new form, how the design layout is used for adding all the user controls in your own easy way, and how form1.cs is used for adding the event handlers, and how Solution Explorer helps in showing you all the files that are associated with the project, and how the properties window helps you in editing the properties of each and every user control. Okay, so with that we stop here. We will have the discussion on the different properties and different user controls in the upcoming videos. Thank you.